Hey folks, Keith with 93 Lumber, coming back at you with another beer. This is Lost Abbey. The Lost Abbey. Devil Went Down to Georgia. Bourbon barrel aged ale with peaches and black tea. They put the vintage somewhere on the bottle. This is either what the hell? Thought it was right here somewhere. Could have sworn it was like right here. I believe this is 2016 or 2017. Actually, I have the other bottle I picked up. This one's 2016, so this one should be 2017. But I don't see where it says it. I don't know why I can't find it now. Unless I thought it was etched on the bottle. I wonder if the condensation, I just wiped it off. Because the one I have over here is on the label. And it hasn't been in the fridge yet. But yeah, so pretty sure this is 2017. I'll keep a lookout for that the marking, because I know it was on here, but whatevs. Bourbon barrel aged ale with peaches and black tea. Henry Jones Sr. and his son loved to fiddle each evening at dusk, their notes sweetly carried through the wooded acres. Their farm, Jones Peaches, was a southern institution. Many whispered their fiddling coaxed sugars from the earth, making them the juiciest peaches known to man. Heaven smiled daily on the Joneses until tragedy struck, summoning Henry Sr. to his final resting place. Henry Jr. assumed his father's farming, but the peaches slowly became less sweet. Sales plummeted as bills piled up. One evening, a curious banker in an orange suit arrived with an offer. One song, two fiddles, a duel with the land deed in the balance. Neighbors witnessed an evil thrashing and heaven-guided harmonics that night. Neighbors witnessed an evil thrashing and heaven-guided harmonics that night. The man in orange left his gilded fiddle on top of the deed, never to be heard from again. Soon the whispers of JP's greatness returned as Henry Sr. smiled down from above. Devil Went Down to Georgia is brewed and bottled by the Lost Abbey. It is 12.5% alcohol by volume. Sorry, I got super, I got hyper focused on not being able to find that the vintage on here. So sorry about that. I saw a thing that said this helps get the corks off, but it did not help at all. It made it harder and harder, or whenever that song is. Slow. There was hardly any sort of thing coming out of that. So yeah. Oh. That looks like dirt water. That is what that looks like. Yeah. That looks like murky brown water. Yeah. Getting a little light around the edges and the bottom. But yeah, that is brown. Looks like dirt. Not much of a head on it either. I know this video is already like 10 minutes long because I got so freaking caught up with the date that I wasn't even paying attention. Anyway, what I was going to say was, even though there's not much of a head, it is kind of like a khaki color ish, for what it's worth. But yeah, let's see what it smells like. It smells like bourbon, and it smells like alcohol. There is a touch, just like the faintest touch of peaches in there. I don't know if this is because it just says an ale, but I am getting some like barley wine-esque notes from it. A little bit like there's like a caramel sweetness in there, and I don't know if I would. Like, I wouldn't say I'm getting like the dark fruit kind of things, but I don't know. It's just kind of giving me barley wine vibes from what I'm smelling. It might just be the bourbon. I might just be thinking bourbon barrel aged barley wine, and so the bourbon's giving me barley wine vibes. Whatever. Yeah, it smells good. It smells really good. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. That is sweet. Very, very bourbon forward. Very. There's this really cool sweetness in there. It kind of comes off like a little bit like powdered chocolate, or like cocoa powder or whatever. Yeah, there is like this chocolate thing in there. And there is this tea tannin kind of thing. It's not huge, but yeah, there's like this, like along that sweetness, that like powdered chocolate sweetness, there's like, for like a split second, you get this like peach ring kind of sweetness in there. Maybe not that sweet, like not as sweet as a peach ring, but it's reminiscent of that. Yeah. Definitely bourbon. There's definitely the huge chocolate note kind of thing. I'm surprised how much chocolate is in this. Because I mean, I guess now that I've tasted it, I can say, oh yeah, there's chocolate on the nose, but I'm not mad that I didn't say chocolate on the nose. Is this like a stout? Because it just says ale. And this seems like it's a bourbon barrel-aged stout. Unless it's like some sort of like hybrid of like a stout and something else that they didn't want to call it a stout. Maybe they just use like chocolate malts or whatever. You know. As far as the peach thing, there is like a peachy thing in there aside from that peach ring sweetness with that powdered chocolate thing. But it's like it's like peach skin. It's not peach flesh or anything like that. Yeah. This tastes like a bourbon barrel-aged chocolate stout. I don't know if black tea would lend itself to a chocolate note. I don't think so. But it's coming off. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there is that tea thing in there. Yeah. I mean, you could tell me there weren't peaches in this, and I'd be like, sure. Because I think the black tea is the biggest one of those two things that is in here. But yeah, there is that like every once in a while I get like this like peach skin thing, and it just like pops up and it disappears immediately. Yeah. It's super good. Bourbon forward. Chocolate. The occasional peach thing. That sweetness in there, that is the powdered chocolate and the peach ring kind of thing. And then that peach skin thing that comes up every once in a while. And then there's this slight dryness on the back, which it's not coming off like over steep tea kind of thing, dryness kind of stuff. So I think it's the barrel, but there's definitely a little bit of drying in there. So yeah, it's pretty good. There is a ring around here, so it's definitely. Hold on. Can I find the? I find it unbelievable that they would put the vintage on the bottle and just in a way that it could just be wiped off. But I guess there are worse things in the world. So yeah. Hope you're all doing well. Taking care of yourself. Taking care of each other. You can like this video if you'd like to. You can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can follow me on Instagram at 93lumber. That's spelled out, 93lumber. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.